Hello and welcome to Beachao, and today with me I have the Audi A4 which has been facelifted for 2021. And straight up, there are two things that I want you to know about this car. First of them is that this car has an incredible set of suspensions, and number two is that this is by far one of the most refined engines that I've driven till date. Alright, to start off, I want to start talking about the suspension in this car. The suspensions on this car are absolutely incredible. Over here in Pune, we've got some really bad roads where, there are potholes, there are undulations all over the place. And the suspensions on this A4 absolutely just go gliding over everything. Now, I can easily say that I have driven quite a few cars till now, and I have premium cars, and till now I have not come across a suspension setup that is this good. The suspension in this car are absolutely next level, where that road right now also where I am traveling on is not absolutely smooth at all, and it just eats up all the bad patches of road. This by far is one of the best suspension setup that I have driven in the recent past. Whether you're driving in the city or if you're driving on the highway, the suspension feels absolutely delightful, especially in the city where the roads are bad and all over the place. The suspensions actually give you a meticulous ride quality and comfort, and of course on the highway they feel very planted. At the same time, they feel absolutely floaty. The suspensions is one of my favorite parts about this car, and I stress about it so much is because over here in India we are constantly in a lookout for good quality roads, and we always long for some nice good quality suspension that give us a plus ride, and this is it, chief. Now, the second thing I really like about this car is its engine, and this, let me tell you, is one of the most refined engines that I have come across till date. They say for luxury cars that the best engine is the engine that you don't hear at all, and that is absolutely the case with the A4. Now, the previous generation A4 came with a 1.4 liter TFSI engine, which kind of fell short in power because it only used to put out about 150 horsepower, which was comparatively way lower than what the rest of the German and European car manufacturers were bringing out. But now this new engine is a 2 liter unit. It's a 2 liter 4-cylinder engine which puts out 190 horsepower and 320 Newton meters of torque. This engine, apart from being very refined, is also decently powerful, where you put your foot down and you get good amount of acceleration out of it. This car with its 2 liter 190 horsepower 4-cylinder engine will do 0 to 100 in 7.3 seconds, which is quite respectable for the kind of car this is. Well, that said, not everything is all rosy in here about the new Audi A4. There are a few things which I don't really like about this car. For example, the rear parking camera, which is a little too low resolution for 2021. Over here you have a charging wireless mat for your cell phone, but the charging wireless mat is sort of given under this armrest, which means that if you put your phone on the charging mat and close the armrest, you cannot use your phone anymore, which I do understand that it does make a little bit of sense since you don't want people to be using their phone when they are driving, but this is a little too extreme, isn't it? That said though, the rest of the interior is actually very good. The fit and finish and the quality of the materials over here inside is really nice. It's got a very nice minimal kind of a layout where you have got these thin air conditioning vents running through the dashboard of the car. It's got a nice big 10.1 inch digital display to control the entire interface of the car and settings. It's got a very nice slim climate control setup over here as well, which has a 3-zone climate control in it. 2 zones for the front passenger, 1 zone for the rear passenger. And the climate control buttons are really interesting because when you rest your finger on the climate control button, whatever you're planning to press, it sort of gives you an option between the different settings that are there for that particular option, and then you can press around and adjust it the way you want it. The center console looks a little sparse. That's because it doesn't have the MMI scroll wheel, but at the same time what you miss out, it actually gives and creates more room for you to keep storing things over here in the central console. So that's, I guess, a positive of that. You also get this nifty little space over here where you can keep the key, and right next to is one of the best, one of the most handy ways to put a volume control in any car interface, because when you're sitting over here and when you put your arm on the armrest, this thing is actually so well in reach where you can actually use the volume control to turn the screen off, to go forward as well as rewind or reverse, and you can obviously change the volume as well. Apart from that, this car also has one of my favorite digital drivers display, which Audi calls their Virtual Cockpit Plus. This is one of the most sharpest and one of the most crispest screens that I have seen in the recent generation of digital drivers displays, and it kind of sort of lays out information in a very nice and a very readable way. And I think that this digital drivers display is by far one of the best currently out there in the industry overall, in terms of its readability information as well as its layout and also its quality and display crispness. Another thing that I really like about this car is how tactile each and every button feels in here. Everything has, like, every button in here has a nice click to it. It doesn't feel cheap and plasticky, it doesn't feel wobbly, it feels very sturdy, it feels something which you enjoy actually interfacing over here inside the car. And that in itself sort of gives the car a much higher sort of build quality feel from the touch of everything that you basically operate when you're sitting over here inside the car. One thing I don't enjoy so much about this layout is that the drive select button, which is all the way over here under the climate control settings, it's kind of far to reach with. It is a little far off to reach, and it is a little too small and a little too hidden in for my liking. But apart from that, the layout of the interiors really nice, very tactile and very ergonomic. Also, in the way this car is laid out, I feel that Audi sort of understands very well that transition in technology that people might have to go through, just because of one reason, because over here at the front you have a normal USB-A port, while if you lift up your armrest underneath, you will find a USB-C port as well. So which means that people who are still yet to upgrade their phones to a phone which comes with a USB-C charging cable, you're still not out of options and you still get a USB-A port, just like how old school phones used to come with as well. Also, but apart from all this, this car also has got a significant facelift on the outside. So let's just go out and quickly check what's new. Now, this being the 2021 model and it comes with a facelift, this has a new single frame grille at the front. It's also got these new LED headlights which kind of bring this car's front fascia more in line with their current generation of products. And also over here below you get a completely redesigned new bumper, and once you move towards the back, you will also find a redesigned bumper back here as well. Those, by the way, are real exhaust vents. There is no fakery going on around here. There's actually exhaust vents. Obviously the actual exhaust is not the same size as the vent outside, the vent cover or whatever you call that, but no fakery. These are actual vents on both sides. Now, the first thing that you realize when you start driving the new A4 is that this steering is kind of light in its operation. I mean, it's a little too light for my liking, although it's very comfortable, and that's what I guess Audi is overall going for, that this is a very comfortable steering wheel, especially when you're using it around town, when you have to maneuver around traffic, go through U-turns, etc. But it is not overly accurate. I mean, don't get me wrong, it still is very decent when you want to place the car through some fast corners, but it is not exactly the most sporty or the most accurate, and that kind of makes sense because overall the way this car is set up with its suspensions, with its steering wheel, it sort of makes sense that this car is more aimed towards being an executive sedan, and in that way, as I said, the steering sort of does go well with the rest of the character of the car. And when you're coming across twisty sections of road, it's gonna give you a decent amount of fun. It's going to, again, it is, as I said, it is more towards giving you a more luxurious, a more pliant and a more plush ride quality, and that is sort of complemented by the steering as well. So in that sort of a way, when you come across a very tight or a twisty section of road where you want to go fast, the steering along with the suspensions sort of works in a sort of midway sort of a feel, where the suspensions themselves are also not very stiff, so they don't give you that high level of sporty handling when you're going through corners and when you're changing directions. They're not bad at all. You can have decent amount of fun with this car in that particular setting. But the two things that dampen your sporty driving experience with the Audi A4 is, one, the gearbox, and second, the traction control. Now the gearbox in this car is a 7-speed dual clutch setup, where the upshifts are blisteringly fast. There is absolutely nothing going on wrong over there. It's when you actually want to downshift, because even if you are in the sport mode or in the sport settings, the gearbox will not let you downshift when you actually want to keep the car at higher revs. So you need to again let the car, you know, cool down on the rev range a little bit before you can tap on the pedal and get yourself back to a lower gear. So in that way, it sort of brings you out of that power zone, or it brings you out of that rev range where you want to actually have fun, where you have a nice singing engine the whole time. It sort of brings you out and in and out of that particular rev zone again and again, which sort of dampens the experience. And the second biggest problem that I see when you're using this car sportily is the traction control system, because this is a front wheel drive Audi A4. It doesn't come with a quattro setup, which means that the traction control has to work a little extra hard, and it completely goes berserk and loses its mind in the first, second as well as third gear, where it is just all it's doing is trying to control the wheel spin from that 320 Newton meter of torque that is being sent to the front wheels, and it sort of cuts out on the power a little too early for you to actually get, you know, the full beans or the full blast out of the car. And that sort of combined with the inability to downshift when you need the reps to be building higher, it sort of dampens your driving experience. Don't get me wrong, again, the driving experience in this car, for what it is as in luxury executive sedan, it is brilliant. And as I said, this car is more set up towards giving you a comfortable and a plush ride quality rather than a sporty experience. In that way as well, you can have decent amount of fun. But yeah, there are a few things where your experience does dampen out a little bit. So what do I overall think of the new Audi A4? Well, I think first of all that the facelift that this car comes with is a very nice and welcome change. It is something that the old Audi A4 was kind of, you know, growing long in the tooth. It was sort of looking a little dated compared to the rest of the modern Audi lineup. So this is a really nice welcome change. Apart from that, the interiors, obviously the fit and finish, although it's not changed too much, it's nice. Once again, it's a good and it's a great place to be in. But the highlighting factor for me in this car is its ride quality, because it absolutely just flies over bad roads. It absolutely just gives you that sumptuous, plush ride quality when you're in here, no matter if you're over bad broken city roads or if you're traveling on the highway. I mean, the ride quality is absolutely the winner for me in this car. And of course, a huge welcome change along with that is the addition or the inclusion of the 2-liter 190 horsepower 4-cylinder engine, which also, you know, along with this good lovely ride quality, gives it a decent move on. But as I said, this car is more tuned for giving you comfort, and just with that alone, this car, in my opinion, is an absolute winner, considering what we guys really long for and what we guys really look for on our bad, horrible Indian roads. I hope you like this video. I'm going to catch you in the next one. Till then,